What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain. I almost forgot my mic, man. Granted, just at the last minute. I got about to start rapping or something, man. I'm here with my boy, Paris Sharkey. Paris, what's going on, my brother?
Ain't not much. I'm finally on the show back in my actual studio area instead of in the car driving after a game.
Oh, yeah, man. What's up? Last show you did show up from the car or whatever, man. My boy Paris, of course, is the Memphis Grizzlies beat reporter for Bluff City Media in the locker rooms, at the games, give you the sights and sounds. I've been loving the fact that you've been able to post video, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for taking care of that, for the Grizzlies, for allowing you to do that. You've been doing a great job with that, man. Appreciate you for coming on. The Grizzlies are fresh off a victory against the Philadelphia 76ers, a team that has been complete ass this year, man, because Joel Embiid don't want to play, Paul George can't play, and Tyrese Maxey just been pretty pissed off with both of these bums. Uh, man, that team is just a case study for sometimes you just have to build your team organically, bro. You
Yeah.
just can't come in and just let everybody walk and just build some totally new team. And it's just not working. I mean, it could have worked by the end of the season. Who knows? Probably will. Embiid just doesn't look right at all. But the Grizzlies did get that win. They improved to 9-7 on the season.
That's crazy
I
though.
would have,
When you think about it, like he don't look right, but he still had like 35 and 9.
yeah, but yeah. It's just something about him just ain't
Yeah.
right. But it just shows to how good of a
Yeah.
player he is. I saw Chris England talk about that as well. But yeah, a lot of things going on with the Memphis Grizzlies. An injury report came out on Vince Williams, injury update came out on Vince Williams, saying that he will be reevaluated in 4 weeks with a grade 3 ankle sprain, I believe is what they said he has going on. I'm sure there'll probably be a couple more weeks added to that. When I saw him get hurt, man, I'm usually optimistic about every injury I've seen. When I saw Vince get hurt, I was like, oh, yeah, that man's going to be gone.
I thought so too. I thought so.
Didn't look good at
I
all.
thought so to this head ankle. I thought it was a knee. By the way, he like
Yeah, I thought it was like what's this right, Achilles or something like that.
I
You know,
thought I didn't think it was
I thought
ankle.
it was something
When
like
they
that
said
type of
ankle, I was like, okay,
yeah.
he'll be back this season.
Yeah, when they said ankle, yeah, I knew he'd be back, whenever, as soon as possible. But that report did come out. Definitely want to talk about this NBA All-Star thing, the changes they're talking about making. Nothing really super official has came out as far as details. At least I don't think it has. But we will talk about that later on in the show as well. Definitely want to talk about the Jake Laravia stuff. That's been a conversation since Jake has stepped his game up. We want to talk about that. And also, John Morant dropped a cryptic tweet. Paris Sharkey, this at 12:12 a.m. He dropped. I think he dropped a tweet that said 12 time, or what did he say? 12:12 or something like that.
12. Like the time.
It was
12.
12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the time. Yeah.
He
So
dropped it at 12 p.m.
yeah. So we'll talk about that if it means anything at all. We'll talk about that as well on the show. But let's start off with the whole Jake Laravia thing. Let's jump into that. A lot of people have been talking about Jake. Jake has had a great season, all things considered. Jake Laravia in his third season. Third season, right? No, is this the
It's
fourth?
his third.
Yeah, he was a year after Zaire,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Third season for Jake Laravia. It's been very impressive this year. I don't have his full stats pulled up.
He shot 100% last night. I know that much.
Yeah. He let me pull him up real quick.
Hey, he's shooting better than Brandon Clark for 3.
Which is disappointed that Brandon Clark's even taking threes. Just being honest with you.
Boy.
Let me pull his numbers up. Let me pull Jake's numbers
I
up.
got
Jake
it.
Laravia's average 8.9 points, 5.2 rebounds, 3.8 assists, and he's shooting
40,
40%
49%.
from three.
And 40, yep. And
No, that's
49 from the
49.
field. From the field, 49.
Yeah, 49 from the field,
And 40
and 40% from three. His career average is 35% from three. So he's shooting 5% better than his career average. Jake is having an incredible year. He's not taking a ton of threes. He took more threes per game last year at 4.5. He's only taking 2.3 this year, but he's having a much better season. He's showing the league, the Grizzlies fans, that he is a competent NBA player. And I'm okay with that. Like, like I'm fine with just that he's proven that he's an actual player in the NBA, because he was not showing us that for the last couple of years. He's a guy that a lot of people are cheering for. A lot of people do want to see him do well. he's been a very pleasant surprise, and almost a necessary surprise. With guys like Vince Williams out for most
Yeah,
of the season, back out here. Gigi Jackson hasn't played a game. You had a rookie Jalen Wells. Marcus Smart hadn't played a lot of games. He's been
yeah.
pretty bad. He has played. Jake Laravia has been a pleasant surprise for this team. But with that being said, man, I just think we as a fan base just have to calm down. Like if we've seen him, he's one of the true build a bear projects, like I say, with this organization and with this team, where they take a guy and give him every opportunity to succeed. Opportunities that other teams probably wouldn't give a guy. You know what I mean? Most teams, a guy like Jake the Raven would not have made it to this point. He would have had the troubles with the injuries, and they would have moved on, cut him, or whatever, been involved in some trade, all these type of things. That's typically what happens. These guys get wave cut. The Grizzlies are a team that gives guys ample opportunities to prove themselves, and I
Well,
think they put them in a lot of
also
opportunities.
also what helped him was last season. So if all the
Yeah.
injuries that happened throughout last season, that yeah, because if we were, let's say
Mhm.
hypothetically we stayed relatively healthy last year, he probably wouldn't have got another shot. But because of that, that provided him the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Mhm. And he looked good. He looked
And
good at the end of the season,
yeah, exactly.
when he was, you know so, like I said, he's gone from being a guy who's looked terrible to a guy who's looked like a competent NBA player. Um, like I said, there are 480 of those spots in the league, and he looks like he belongs in
Yeah.
that group at this point. And I'm fine with just kind of stopping it right there. You know what I mean? It's good to see that he's turned into that level of player. But I think that when this team is healthy, Jake Laravia won't be a rotation player. If you're talking about a 10-man, 11-man, especially when you get into your 8 and 9-man rotations for the playoffs, Jake Laravia is not a guy that's going to be part of those type of plans. And he's also a guy that they did not pick up his player option for next season. Now, does that mean he's not going to be on the Grizzlies next year? No, it doesn't mean that at all. But the Grizzlies, he will be a free agent this summer. Um, Typically with those type of guys, um, they can come back to the team that they're on. I think that's definitely an option that the Grizzlies have to bring him back. I don't think that the market for Jake Laravia is going to be priced out for the Grizzlies, whatever.
And
And it could be a situation for him where you go ahead and make him a free agent. You could give him a multi-year
yeah,
deal. They are able to give him a multi-year deal, if I'm not mistaken, even though they didn't pick up his option. But I think they are. The fact that they didn't pick up his option, I want to say that other teams can pay the Grizzlies more, pay him more than the Grizzlies can. I think that's
mhm,
still the rule. I think that's how that works. But I don't really think there's going to be much of a groundswell of teams looking out to try to get Jake Laravia, because his 3-point numbers are kind of fraudulent. He's shooting 40% from three, but he's only taking 2.5 threes a game. He's not a high volume 3-point shooter, and it's so crazy, man. Because when we got him, he was a guy that was built to be
spot up,
maybe a Kyle Anderson
yeah,
type guy
spot up shooter.
that was going to be just a big time spot up shooter that can make taking 6, 7 threes a game. He's
And
he's not that
and you
player
know
at
what's
all.
crazy about that? He wasn't dead in college. So it's kind of like
No,
so it's funny how he was built up the media
I think
way
he shot
if
the
he
ball
wasn't dead.
well, and people liked his form. They just thought if he shot more, he'd make
Yeah.
more. I think it's one of those type of things.
They tried to
And he looks the part. You know what I mean? He looks the part or whatever. So a lot of people thought that that's what he would be for the Grizzlies, but he's been a totally different type of dude. He's been more of a
he a hustle.
utility
Yeah,
player. Yeah, he plays hard. He
basically
plays
Mr.
hard.
Kinda like what I guess what Milton was, Mr. Do It All. He do everything on the
Yeah,
court pretty much.
yeah. He doesn't look as fluid as Anthony
Yeah.
Melton looks
But
do it,
he
because Jake's game makes me nervous because he just has a weird game. Like I said the other day, he feels like he's taking a half step too many, or a half dribble too many, or over pursued just a little bit, or just it's always seems like it's something that's just a little bit off with him. But like I said, I'm not really tripping about his contract. The fact that they didn't uh pick up his option. I'm not really tripping about that too much at all. I think that if he likes it here and they're winning, and he feels like he can be a part of our success, he'll be around.
mhm.
The thing is, if you lose him, you got Vince, you got Gigi, you got Santi.
Jaden Wells.
You probably got Santi.
Yeah.
You got Jalen Wells.
Depends.
We'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. So I'm not really tripping about any of that, but I'm glad to see that
Yeah.
he has panned out. He's a guy that you took in the first round and you traded up to get him. Like, you used assets to get Jake Laravia.
And we
And I hope that he pans
and
out.
we need
Go
and we
ahead.
need him right now. Like literally. Like
And right now we
like
need
you're
him.
saying, like Vince came back, he back out again for another month. Like so
Yeah.
Jake finna
And we might need him at the trade deadline. We might need him to make a trade work,
right.
or he might be a guy that can bring some value back. So I'm excited about what he's doing. I know I get my jokes off. But here's the thing, and a lot of people, I've had to explain this to people individually as well. I've never said anything about Jake Laravia that wasn't true in the moment. I've never said he was bad when he wasn't bad. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And even last year with the stuff he was doing, like, all right, man, he's putting up crazy numbers, but I mean, who's stopping him from putting up? Who cares if he puts up those crazy numbers on the other team? Like, who's stopping him from doing it? And like I said, in actual games that are competitive to mildly competitive, we'll still seeing him look like a competent player.
Yeah.
We haven't really played a lot of good teams, and he hasn't really had a lot of good matchups against guys that are better than him. But he does show that he's a competent player, and I think the most likely scenario is that he's involved in some type of trade. I think that's going to happen this season. I think his value is increasing, and I think they'll either use him packaged with a deal, or just trade him in an individual trade by himself for some value. But what if he's a young piece that a team wants? Like our teams typically want a young piece back in the trade. What if Jake Laravia is the guy that makes it happen?
Hey,
Wouldn't that be
that'd be nice.
incredible adjustment?
Right.
Yeah. You got any thoughts about the whole Jake Laravia thing at all?
You know me, I don't entertain people when they're bored with the whole contract thing, talking about the Grizzlies picked up the option. It's two things can be true. Like Jake is playing well. I do acknowledge that. I continuously acknowledge that, and we need him to play well, right? Hypothetically, now one of us want him to fail because we need him. We need our 15 guys to be good. Whether he's in the
Mhm.
rotation like he is now, or when he won't be
Yeah.
in the rotation when if everyone is healthy. I ain't even gonna say when at this point. He
Right.
might be in the rotation the rest of this season at this point, but we need him to be
Mhm.
well regardless in any scenario. We need
Seem like somebody gonna be at least week to
right.
week at all
So
times.
we need him to play. If he's
But that's the league though, man. You never gonna have a clean slate
yeah,
as far as
you
injuries
don't.
go. You
So
always gonna have
and that's exactly
yeah.
why we need him. We need him to be good for as a trade trip. We need him to be good as the end of the bench piece, or need him to be good as a rotation. Right? Either way, him being
Mhm.
good helps the team regardless. And it's nice to see him. Like I said, a guy like that, just seeing him, I am happy and proud of him in the sense that you're right. He didn't look
Right.
like an NBA player, but he also had injuries that he was out. Like when he
Mhm.
played, he got
Right,
out,
right.
then he came back, then he went out again. So he's staying
Mhm.
healthy for one. So it's good to see
Right.
he's staying healthy and he's showing he got a game. So we know he got an NBA career, whether it's with the Grizzlies or with someone. But I
Mhm.
expect to see him on someone's roster throughout for the next
Yeah.
couple of years.
I think he's kinda made himself a spot in the league, and this was a something else that I want to reiterate. It was a little bit in the moment when we recorded Tuesday night for Wednesday, but the whole Draymond Green thing, right? I think that's a conversation that needs a little more nuance. There's a lot of one-sided conversation with it because I'm seeing a lot of Grizzly fans who are pointing out the fact that Draymond Green is a dirty player and he's done this and he's a hypocrite and all these type of things. All those things are true. But some of those things he said about Taylor Jenkins are also equally concerning. Like, whether he's the best messenger, he's probably the worst messenger to say any of those things. But there are some things that he said to me that are concerning about Taylor Jenkins. His opinion, I can't say, okay, he's not telling the truth. No, I agree. There's some things about him, as far as Taylor Jenkins are concerned, that I agree with. There are times that I wonder, is this job too much for Taylor Jenkins? I don't mean to be the coach of the Grizzlies, but to lead them to a championship because that's
Yeah.
where they are now. And I went on the whole spiel the other night about the unlikeliness of him being the guy, not because there's anything particular about him, but it's just not how it works. Teams who have these developmental coaches, there's typically another guy who comes in and actually leads them to a championship if they win one. And that's been the case, except for two guys in my lifetime. There's Greg Popovich and there's Mike Malone with Denver. So like I said, I get it. It's Draymond, but come on, man. Like let's use some nuance. There are some, and I invite people to watch the whole interview and unplug from it and pretend it's not Draymond Green, pretend he's not talking about your coach, and just go back and watch it and see, get your opinion off of it. But that's all I have on that. We're about to take a break, Parrish. When we come back, man, we're gonna talk more about this whole. I have a question to ask you, Parrish Sharkey, a burning question to ask you about your experiences in the locker room, as well as we'll talk about the whole NBA All Star situation, how it could look different this year. We'll talk about those things and more when we come back on Anthony Sain Show.
If you had a redraft right now, would Jalen Wells go in the top? Would Jalen Wells go in the first round?
Yes.
How high do you think
Yes.
that is? I'm curious about this because we're very jaded. We're very biased, me and you, but also everybody else involved in the chat is obviously here listening to the Grizzlies.
Oh, in this draft, like lottery. If he keeps playing to this level, I mean, easily hands down first round pick. And unless someone else starts going crazy, he would be a lottery pick.
I think top 15, top 18 are 100%, a lock. Can't be overstated how much he helps to go to a good team, though. And that's the biggest thing, is when you don't have to create yourself. And that's what these other guards and these other players, they're having to create their own shot. Jalen Wells doesn't have to right now because he has a lot of good players around him.
If he had played to this ability on a bigger stage in college, I don't think it's crazy to see him as a lottery pick.
Tune in to the Grizz 901 postgame show, live after every Grizzlies game on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
The Grizzlies have 3 bad home losses: Brooklyn, Chicago, and this one. We're too early in the season to have that many bad home losses.
Yeah, and the other thing for me is, I talk about the 10-game sets.
Right.
They're 2-3 in this 10-game set. They were 6-4 in the first one. I said, if you can go 6-4 for an entire year, and then win those 2 games, or at least split those 2 games, it puts you at 49 or 50 wins. And that you can feel good about that. Now you're 2-3, and you don't want to. Why you're saying that for me is you don't want to have to look back so many times and say, man, what if we would have?
And when you give games away, or don't take games that you feel like you should, you want to make those up somewhere else. And you just don't want that list to get too long. Well, check off the Chicago one, and then keep going down the list.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Before we jump into the show, man, real quick, want to remind y'all about 901 Wrestling, man. We got a show this Sunday at Minglewood Hall. Man, I'm on the Country Anthony show, right? Live at 9 on WREG. And there's a young lady, Aubrey Scott, that we're giving an award to. And what do we call that thing? Academic Warrior Award, right? For a young person who's doing great things in the city of Memphis. And she's also a kid that comes to our shows. And Hunter Havoc, Bobby Ford, and Shane Sharpen to jump in, interrupt, tear the girl thing up. They beat up the grappler who was there to present the award to the young lady. It just got crazy, man. They went on 92.9 talking stuff again as well. So I want y'all to come out and check it out at Minglewood Hall, man. This Sunday, doors open at 4, show starts at 5. Kids get in free, man. With every ticket purchase, a kid gets in free. Even if it's another kid. If you have 10 kids, half of them getting in for the free, man. Basically, that's what we're trying to do. Something kind of like that. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. So come check it out at Minglewood Hall.
Basically, buy one, get one free as long as you have kids.
But it doesn't have to be adults. Yeah, it doesn't have to be adults, though. Because typically stuff like that is with every adult purchase, you get a kid free. But with ours, it's every general admission ticket purchase regardless.
Okay.
But yeah, man, you can check out that main event. On the other side of that is going to be Don Montana. Also, who is in that main event? Big Dave, and also the 901 Wrestling Champion, the man, Kevin Bless himself, man, the true one-on-one, Kevin Bless. Those 3 guys take on the guys I mentioned earlier in the 6-man tag match. It's going on at Minglewood Hall, as well as the semifinals and the finals for the 901 Wrestling Classic, where the winner gets a shot at the greatest prize in the land, man, the greatest prize in the territory, the 901 Wrestling Championship. So come check it out at Minglewood Hall. Get your tickets at 901wrestling.com. Come check it out. But yeah, man, like I said, them dudes came in and just wrecked Country Anthony's whole thing. They just came in. But yeah, you can check that clip out on 901 Wrestling's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's out there, man. We were just trying to do our thing, present one of Memphis's great youths an award, man. They came in there just tearing up stuff. But Paris Sharkey, I told you I had a question.
Yep.
I had to ask you, my boy. You do good work after the games, man. You recording players, you getting quotes, you getting tweets, you getting audio, you getting video, you getting all these things, right? I got one question though, man.
Yep.
Does Zach Edey speak at all? Because I ain't heard your brother say shit since media day. why don't we get into Zach Edey quotes, bro?
Yeah.
I try to stay I'm not invited. I'm not allowed into the media stuff. So you tell me, Paris. You represent me out there, man.
Hey,
What is
me personally, I'm not there. I mean, he's one of the last people. So so we go to the locker room.
Mhm.
The players are available based on when they're ready. Whether some players want to go and take a shower, then do the interview. Some players will go ahead and get their interview out the way before they get in the shower or whatever.
Hold on. Break that down for the people who don't really understand the locker room experience. So the guys, they go take a shower, they change clothes.
Yeah.
Because it used to be guys would be in the locker room half naked getting interviewed.
Hmm.
But those days are over. So now guys have to be
Mostly.
totally
There are
dressed.
some,
Yeah.
because some like yesterday, Desmond Bain had his shirt off yesterday, but he won't have. He just had his shirt off, right? But
Right, but you can't interview. When you say ready, it means that they're showered, they're fully clothed.
pretty
Like you
much.
can't interview guys with their body out no more.
Well, someone like I
No,
said, Bain had his shirt off yesterday. We interviewed him, so it's still kind of dependent on the players, but most of the time the players are
yeah,
doing it after a shower. Some would do it pre-shower, but they are still most likely have their full uniform on or stuff like
right.
that. But yeah, it's still more like it's on the players' time a little bit, a whole lot. But Zach Edey, for one, I'm I'm not. I got a full-time job. I got to get up and be at work
Right.
at 7 the next morning.
It ain't just you because we've never seen any Zach Edey post
We
game
ain't
stuff.
waiting out.
Nobody.
Most time,
Nobody's ever posted anything. He's never
we
said.
all leave close to around same time. If anybody remains back, it's mostly like DeMichael or Drew, who is their full-time job, of course. But
They ain't posting it either.
I would say even them, they go ahead and leave because they got to get an arc out. So
Right.
so
I got a conspiracy theory of what I
Yeah.
think might be going on. Are we sure that Zach Edey is washing his ass? Are we sure he's not just hooping and going home?
now he still be there because we can see him in the locker room. And he'll leave, and he just leave and go. We don't see him no more. But he still be there. I know he still be
Do
there.
we know that Zach Edey ain't just going home with a Grizzlies uniform on, stinking in the car?
Nah, I doubt it. But I did see. So when he actually
You
got
really know.
when he got
If somebody told you, hey, Paris, Zach just gets to the car and goes home after the game,
it wouldn't
fully
shock
wet and
me.
stank.
It wouldn't shock me. I mean, I would say me personally. I ain't gonna lie. If I was an NBA player, I probably would go ahead and take a shower at the house. That's me. Me personally.
Right.
Me personally, I probably say, bro.
Right, you nasty.
I ain't finna wait around here. I'm about to go to the house. Take a shower at the
Man.
house. But with him,
That's hilarious.
the most I heard him talk was after he got hurt, and we couldn't interview him after he was hurt, but he was sitting in his locker. They gave him the bucket with the ice, put his foot in the bucket to ice up his ankle, and I heard him talk a little bit like to the Grizz PR, but that's the most I've heard him talk. We couldn't interview him at that point.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, well, moving on. Thank you, brother. I just wanted to know, why don't we hear anything from Zach Edey?
He take his
And
time,
the only
dog. He take his time.
kind of stuff you only get on Edge of the Same show from the Grizzlies beat reporter, Paris Sharkey. Appreciate you, my brother. All right, so now let's talk about this whole NBA All-Star Weekend change thing they're making. First of all, shout out to my boy Jason Smith, Jason and John Show. Come on there every Friday, 11:25. He came in with a cold idea today. He said, you've heard the ideas. Chris Ingram had the idea of Nike versus Adidas, Ja versus Anthony Edwards, for money on the line. I think he said Nike, Adidas, Jordan.
Yeah, with Zion.
Zion Williamson, right? And then you've heard different variations of that, right? Jason Smith had a cold idea, man. Jason Smith said instead of doing that, make Nike get behind it and get Ja Morant and LeBron James. He said get the guy who a lot of people say killed the slam dunk contest in the beginning and get LeBron James out there. Like, man, you want to prove that you for the league, you can support the league, and you the league's guy and all that type of stuff. You're Captain L'America and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you're that dude, go out there and participate in the slam dunk contest and show people that at 40 you could be the oldest to ever win it and all those type of things, and it'll be fun with you and Ja. I don't mind that.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. That'd be cool.
People are like, well, I don't want to see what LeBron's got to do. I don't either. I didn't want to see what 70-year-old Mike Tyson was going to do.
But we still watch them.
Yeah, it's just a fanfare of it. It's just like
the difference is
it's a dog and pony show.
The difference is LeBron actually might be fine.
It might do a little something. And then whatever he does, people gonna go crazy about it. That's what it's all about, man. How do people react to what he did? It ain't that they doing something you never did before. If Ja Morant comes out there and it's just the swag and the aura he gonna have by this stuff. That's just gonna be going crazy. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. But that's a speculation. That's just a theory. That's not really a speculation. It's just something that was thrown out, a theory by Jason Smith that I did want to talk about. But what does seem to be a real thing is the NBA is experimenting with taking the 24 guys that are selected to the All-Star team, East and West, drafting them again. The East and West was back for just a little bit. I'm an East and West guy. I go back to that. I'm East versus West guy.
That John sucked last year, so I think it's something
Your
else.
comments are your comments just are. But I don't think it sucked because of that. It sucked
No,
because
because
they
they
was
ain't
doing other stuff
playing.
too.
Because the players just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But what they're talking about doing is taking those 24 guys, instead of making 2 teams, make 3 mixed teams of 8 players, and then having those guys play against the winner of the rookie, sophomore, or the young guns challenge, future shooting stars, whatever they call it, right? Whatever that is, right? Well, having whatever 8 guys win that, taking on the All-Stars. I don't know, man. Like you might think different. I think they're just doing too much still.
I'm
I'm not
trying.
the biggest fan of this.
Yeah, I'm trying to read about it. Well, I mean, I know the gist of it, but
I don't think any for sure details are out, but it does sound like that's what they're gonna do.
well,
The
he got it.
whole
It's gonna be expected to have 2, so it's 4. Of course, we know the 14 part. We know it's 18. They're gonna split the 24 All-Star players up to 3 18 players. Then they're gonna do the Rising Stars, choose 8 of those players. 2 semifinal games played up to 40 points, and then the 2 winners advance to the championship, which would be
so that's real. That's official.
and be go up to 25 points according to the source. So yeah, Sean's posted this. It
Okay, I missed
sounds
that part.
official, yeah.
So they saying that it's gonna have a pickup style, but it's only pickup style because it's probably not gonna have a clock. They're just gonna go to points.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So the 2 is gonna go to 40, then go to 25 in the championship. So I guess they're gonna do it all on Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, man, whatever. But I've always said if you want the All-Star game, if you want guys to play hard, in addition to have your MVP, have a defensive MVP as well for $5 million. And guys are going to go hard because they're going to play defense to try to win. The regular MVP is not for no money. Defensive MVP is for some money. The guys will go out there and they'll try to go crazy. Whether it's $5 million, $1 million, whatever, guys will go play for that. Whatever it is, they'll try to get the defensive MVP. And everybody will be trying to get it, and everybody be playing defense, and the game will be fun. I think that's a very simple solution. I don't want to watch a 8-man tournament and call it the All-Star game.
I say
at the end
this.
of the day, it's not that big of a deal, bro. It's a freaking All-Star game, bro. Like, why? I mean,
I say this. I
but
see them. They probably gonna play deep. If you go on 40 points and going to 25, I think they playing defense. I would hope that they're gonna decide to actually try because it's a lesser game. You only going to a set point, and that's a low point amount. I can envision them just really actually trying, but we'll see how long it works. It might, because like the whole Elam ended thing, it worked for 1 year because of Kobe's death, kind of.
Right.
Everybody play hard, and that because of that, essentially. Then after that, it paid it off. So this might be this year. That might spice it up, but then the next years it might be like
I don't want the players to pick the teams though, man. Like,
yeah, that's the one thing I ain't seen nothing about it.
I don't want to see this. I don't want to see
Obviously,
LeBron and Giannis and whoever, KD, whoever, man, Steph, whoever. Just put 3 dope teams together, bro, and like try to make them as even as possible. I don't know who determines it. I don't know. I want if Ja makes the All-Star game and Jaren does too. I want the 2 Grizzly players to be on the same team. I don't want them playing against each other.
Right.
What they should do is split the league in thirds, like geographically in thirds. Like instead of doing East versus West, do East, West, and Central or something like that. But actually, don't put us on the West team. Put us on the East team. But don't actually call it the East. Call it the whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, don't. It ain't got to be a geographical name, but do have it where guys actually play. Like if y'all are playing in this region, I don't know, bro.
I think I get what you're saying. So like, if since you got
keep dudes with their teams, bro.
Yeah, keep doing. So like the Lakers, let's say
Bron
AD, let's say Bron, AD, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant make the All-Star team. They should be on. They should be on the same team. If Ja, Jaren, Zion, and Brandon Ingram make it, they should be on the same team. They're in the same area. Or Trae Young,
Zion, Brandon Ingram, Trae Young,
LaMelo Ball,
LaMelo Ball, whoever.
Jimmy Butler, Bam.
The Knicks guys, Miami. I mean, you got. I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
I don't just keep dudes together, bro. Whatever keeps dudes together, I'm down for it, man. But yeah, the Memphis Grizzlies, they're off until like Saturday or some shit, huh?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep. They finally get them.
Yeah.
Finally get them a little break in. Just a little break.
Nice little break, man.
They gonna play.
But also, before we wrap it up, Morant said it's 12 time. He put out a tweet at 12 a.m. the night after a Memphis Grizzlies win, after the game was over. Dare I say, Perry Shark, as we wrap it up, I'm gonna ask the question. I'm gonna put y'all put this in the comments. Tell me what y'all think the 12-12 stood for. Was Ja just happened to be up at 12-12? Did he set an alarm for 12-12 just to play with y'all on Twitter? Or could it be a signal to something bigger, man? Me personally, Perry Sharkey, as of right now, Thursday, nothing has came out saying the Grizzlies report for Saturday, the injury report or whatever. But would I be shocked if that was Ja saying, I'm coming next game? It's 12 time. I'm back.
No.
What are your thoughts on that? You think this? I mean,
Nah, I won't be shocked to that at all. Because I mean,
according to Michael Cole, in the article he wrote,
he said 3 to 6 weeks, and 3 weeks will be next Wednesday.
3 weeks was yesterday. Nah, 3 weeks was yesterday.
I thought it was 2 weeks.
He got hurt in the Laker game.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago.
No, that was 3 weeks ago, Perry.
That was November 6th.
What's today?
November 20th. Well, November 21st.
So next Wednesday be 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it.
Like, no, that was 2 weeks ago. Still don't shock me. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's insinuating he'll be back.
Oh, so what was okay?
That'd be 2.5 weeks.
Yesterday was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yesterday was 2 weeks.
That'd be 2.5 weeks.
I'm still gonna say it, man. Y'all tell me what you think. Was that Ja signaling that he coming back Saturday, man? Was that Ja saying that he coming back next game? That it's 12 time? Or was he just playing with y'all on Twitter? Y'all let me know. But for Perry Sharkey, this is Anthony Sain. We're gonna see y'all. We're gonna see y'all at the game Saturday. We're gonna see y'all next week, man, and we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.